G'day, all you super coaches out there. Welcome back. This is a round 13 review. It's popping this out, I think, 5 minutes from when the full end of round has come out, and we popped out a 1956. So, not awful considering what I'm about to show you what went wrong this week, but we did lose ranks when I thought that this is one of the weeks we could climb a bit, but. Only 137. It's not a super big loss. We're still around the 15,000 mark, which is okay, but we could be in a better spot. But this is why we weren't in a better spot. So yeah, we won our matchups, thank goodness. But Robert's sick. That was real unfortunate. We knew about it, and I was opting to hold anyway. Even though he has to buy this week, it's a couple extra weeks of rest, and I think he can just keep the D6 spot. We've got other things to work on, like Flynn and that sort of thing. And then we had Bailey Smith, who was a late out. I think a lot of other people had to deal with Bailey Smith being out as well, but it just didn't add to uh, my team this week because we had a few that were underwhelming that will fill in for some roles. So Clark, beautiful, 71. A Carroll, 30 is awful. Lindsay got subbed for 20 and then got scaled down from when he got subbed. And Katko, you can't really expect much with the 39. So looking at the leagues, it wasn't that bad, to be honest. Most of my league scores were even below that, so I was surprised that I was only in the top 20% for this round. There were a couple bigger scores, but they just had lucky run of the grain sort of thing, like having Holmes in the defense and that sort of thing. Got 150, that sort of stuff, which I did not have. So this week we can easily just go straight in. Roberts to the bench, mate. You should have been on the bench anyway, but Sinclair and Wangani Miller come back. Rosie's already had his bye. We'll just go through them all, hey? So Roberts did not play, neither did Sinclair or Wangani Miller. Rosie, I didn't watch the Port game actually. I wasn't expecting a whole lot up in Canberra, and I heard it was a crap game to watch, but I didn't watch it because I had an event on. And I was pleasantly surprised to see we got up and that Rosie scored well and that Butters scored well, even though we don't have him. He's it's a little bit like Butters is back. He's had a couple of down weeks, and that's why he's dropped in price a bit. But he could be someone we could jump on this week. Looking at this dude right here, Sheezel was big. I think he's losing money with this score, but I think he was the X factor for North getting over the line. He was really big. Carroll did nothing, obviously, and Clark 71 pleasantly surprised me. I thought he was going to be around a 40 to 50 ish player, but lo and behold, we got another 70 out of him, which is really good. He's got an average of about 70 now, and he will be making cash for a couple weeks. So he's like the one good rookie pick we've had in a while because Gray's gone out. I think Day Wick started a sub. It's just we have no other options. Dobont, I brought him in and he disappointed me a little bit and dropped in cash 101. And I was surprised he even got to 101. I think he only got to 101 because all of the Bont's points are gold, basically. His efficiency is great and he's very damaging. So Champion Data really value his touches, I think. Then we have Tom Green. Awesome. I knew this is a couple of the games that we were going to be getting from him while Callahan's out. He has to step up in the midfield, and he did step up, although he lost. Sarong didn't play. Merritt was just average again, got tagged and drifted forward as he does. Same thing up in a day cost, and I was actually surprised with the 95. I think the goal in the last quarter really saved him. It brought his score up by 10, 15 points because of how close the game was. He could have kicked a sealer, but that point got him across the line. So what can you do? You can't complain. Then we got Dunkley 120. That's good. Ashcroft 107. I thought that he should have got given a little bit more. I was wondering why he didn't get more with the amount of touches he had, and his efficiency wasn't that great. So that was probably why. Took was tagged. I don't know why they tagged Took. You've got Noah Anderson and Matt Rao, and both of them were having like decent games. Noah Anderson did get concussed and eventually was out of the game, but Matt Rao and Anderson, you're not going to him at the start of the game. I just think that's absolutely crazy. What are you doing? Going to Took. It's just a kick of dirt in my face that I've gone with Took as the point of difference, and because I think that Anderson and Rao are going to get some tags, and then they go and tag Miller and let Rao and Anderson score big. even though Anderson, yeah, did get injured. So if just letting Rao run loose is instead of I would put someone around instead of Miller, in my personal opinion. And then Lindsay, awful 20, was butchering it. He sucked. It was awful. And rightfully subbed out at, I think, like 3/4 time it was, a little bit before that. Jerry, the very obvious best score in my side and captain score. Although Flynn, I thought was not too bad, actually. I thought he stood up and I think 79. He might should have probably got a little bit more to be honest, but we all knew that Jerry was going to get 140 plus at least because going against Flynn absolutely towered him, got 190. And we have to think about when we want to move to Gorn soon because Flynn is starting to lose cash now. I don't know what his break even is, but I'm pretty sure it's gone up a bit, and Gorn won't be getting a whole lot cheaper anytime soon because he did score 130, I think, and gave the game away to Collingwood, to be honest, with that awful kick out at full back. But I think that he should have had some more points taken away from that. Doesn't matter, to be honest. But at 130 is not a whole lot of wiggle room when it comes down to pricing. Bear Smith laid out. That sucks. I think well, I don't think they should have forced him to play, but it really would have helped my team. If he needs it, he needs it. He does come back, and then he has to buy again. So, well. Petrarca 115 was very good. All his touches are really damaging. He's lots of contested possessions, I think, and he played well, to be honest. Rankin, fine. He's been pretty 89 for the last 4 weeks in a row. Caleb Daniel racked them up. You're a fool if you trade him out a couple weeks ago. Levi, he might have to go soon as well. He's starting to leak cash. We might have to do a few moves with the rookies this week. A couple double upgrades. Hewitt, 85. He's really getting some mid time and he's coming up pretty well. So his last two from his mid time has been a 92 and an 85. He had these ones where he was playing on like a more of a sweeping from forward to middle role, not getting a whole lot of midfield time, but he's starting to get more and he's starting to put some better scores on the table. He's a good player, and I think that we can not safely, but if we've got no other options to these rounds, we can play him on field, and I feel more confident in a Kako definitely than I do with Hewitt. And then Gray didn't play because Bolts the Assaulter was back, and Kako 39. I've been expecting Kako to at least have one game this whole entire year where he kicks a bag of at least like 3. His best score is 62, and that was his first game ever. From there, it's just been I don't understand. Like he consistently gets a game, and he doesn't do a whole lot, and feel like he's a little bit overrated. But that's just my opinion. Do something, Kako. He's too unselfish when I watch him play. Sometimes he's a little bit too unselfish. So that's through everyone. We should get Sarong back on field, hey, for Lindsay, because Lindsay's getting traded this week. 19, and he's going to be dropping quickly now. There's a few break evens I've got to work out during the week, but I'm going to do some early toss up trades. So we got Lindsay traded for. Let's see our options, hey. So we want people that have already had their buy, most likely. And I do want Butters. I think that Butters is not going to drop it a whole lot more. Let's just look at break evens now, hey? All right, break evens aren't updated, so I'm going to do just some mock trades and see what it is. I can always reverse, but Zach Butters, welcome to the side, my good friend. So we now have the Bont and Butters, which is massive. But we do have a full midfield is another thing. So what I was planning to do was swap one of our midfielders to the flex spot. We are finished with our midfield for the whole rest of the year, unless there's an injury now. Now we've got to focus on forward and defense. And we've got one spot to fill at the back here. Carroll is definitely not going to be there for the rest of the year. We've got Flynn to upgrade. And then in the forward line, we have 2 spots. Maybe 3, depending on Daniel. But I have an idea for who I want to trade for in a couple weeks' time for the forward line. Chad Warner, who has definitely dropped in price, and I think that he's got a better run home and can back up some big scores that he did earlier, a couple months before the scores that he's been doing now. He's done, I've seen, it was a methodical move to not bring him in. He's been popping out like lots of 80s, 85s, 90s, just stuff that I foresaw coming. I don't know what told me don't to get Chad Warner in, but the role just didn't look great. But I know that the further on the year, the better the schedule is going to get for Sydney. So I'm going to just hold faith and get him after his buy round, most likely. And then Hewitt can stay for the time being, whereas Levi Ashcroft, I don't know, man. You might have ran your time up. He is. I really do want to hold him to the buy. Brisbane have had their buy. They haven't. Let's just see what we have left. So this week we got the Suns, Sydney, Richmond, and Collingwood. I don't have a whole lot. I think I've got some Sydney and Suns. You've got Roberts, Dacos, but a lot of people have Dacos. Took. That's three. And Gray, who's not going to play anyway. So we could be in for a big week. We've got some players to fill the spots. And then the week after that is probably one of my worst. We got Adelaide, Hawthorn, Melbourne, Eagles. So Adelaide, Rankin, Hawthorn, no one. Melbourne, Petrarca, and the Eagles, Hewitt. So actually, it's not that bad either. Goodness me. I think it might be the last round, which we have got. This is a big trading round for me. Here we are. So we got Brisbane, Cats, Essendon, Giants. This is bad for me. Brisbane, we got Dunkley and Ashcroft. Both Ashcrofts. Who else we got? We got Cats. We got Bailey Smith. Yeah, everyone's got him. So everyone's in the same boat there. Essendon, Zach Merritt. We got the Kako, Clark, and Hawley, who might be back around then. He probably won't be getting the game though. And then the Giants, Tom Green. So that's a few we gotta work out. I think a couple of these will be traded by then anyway. So uh, worst by a long while, I'd say. I forgot Flynn as well, but he's probably not going to be in the side. So if we do say trade to Gorn, how much? He's lost 10k. His break even's probably gone back up again. We can not afford him at this stage. Um, so whatever. When the break evens come out, I'll search him during the week. I'll see what Flynn is and who's his matchup this week. Tom de Koning. It's not great matchup for him, I don't think. And then, oh goodness me, we have Max Gorn. Vicentini's gonna get. If we keep Vicentini in the side, he's gonna get like Sweet will be coming in the next week. Let's just say that. That's how bad it's gonna be. So Max Gorn captain option this week, I think is a good option. Uh, so we had to get rid of Lindsay. Ashcroft has got one more week till he's got the bye, so I'm going to. Uh, does he or has he already had it? Am I crazy? Did he have it in the first week? No, he's got the last one. What am I doing? He does have the last one, doesn't he? Yeah, he's got the last one, so he's got 2 more weeks to go. If his break even, because this is the height of his cash. If you don't move him this week, he's gonna drop in price. But he is that extra body you can keep, and he could pop out. We know Ashcroft can pop out 90, so it's a bit of a toss up. A little bit of math to be worked out during the week when the break evens do update on the website. Butters, jump on him. I think if you can, works for your team. This is the cheapest because he's going to get all year, in my personal opinion. And then defense, we're going to need a defender. And there's no one here. Maybe Carroll. He's not done a whole lot for me, but I don't have a lot to play with because we want Butters. I think it might be a. No, we didn't want Lual. Seamus Mitchell. No, no, no. Just not much options as usual, is there? 5 round average. Martin, yeah, would have been a good pick a couple of weeks ago when he was really cheap, about the same price as Petrarca, and I had the two options, and I went with Petrarca. Oh well, Petrarca's been fine. Holmes, yeah, I've stood by not having Holmes all year because he does pop out the 70s, but then Roberts is just the same version as Holmes, but worse. He's just got a way lower ceiling than Holmes does. I'm not a fan of Dale. Ash has really surprised me. Clark, I do like the look of for the rest of the year. He's just had his bye as well, hey? Oh, that could be a pick. Jordan Clark. All right, let's reverse the trade because we do have a full midfield for now. Our priorities should be somewhere else, and depending on Zaki's break even, if it's like a 150, we could wait another week and he will still get cheaper. So I'm just gonna say, Carol, sorry, buddy, but you've done nothing for me. Let's get in Jordan Clark. Hey? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our defenders done. That's our midfield done. And now that means we've got Blinny in the ruck, 2 Levi and Hewitt, and we've got this flex position, but we were also going to trade Lindsay out this week. Um, hmm. Interesting. Okay. Okay. There's a lot to go over, and lots of this stuff I'm going to be going over in my final trades video. That's what I want to put my trade stuff in, is the final one. I think I usually post it 5 minutes before the first bounce on Thursdays, but I'll leave it to them because there's a lot of stuff I've got to look over during the week. And there's no point doing the trades now because things are going to change during the week. I'm going to find out break evens. People are going to get injured. There's going to be people coming back in. So who knows? It's not worth going over now. I'll work it all out later in the week. But just wanted to go with my team. We are projecting in the upwards direction, I think. We've got the money to play with. So it does make a couple moves easier this week. A couple buys to go, but I think we're prepped pretty well. Maybe the last one's going to be a bit dodgy, but we'll work it out. So thank you for watching. If you do watch, these videos have been getting lower views and lower views. So I don't think YouTube's pushing them out to Supercoach viewers. So if you do enjoy these videos and you do get recommended them, please share them around to your fellow Supercoach enthusiasts because I want to build a community. I do want to help as many people as I can with my insight because the best insight is a lot of people's insight. You get a big sample size, and I think that I have some valuable input as I've been playing this for a couple of years now, and I want to share that input with some other Supercoach enjoyers. So thank you everyone for your support, and I can finally say it with pride again, go the power.